What's up, homies? Okay, so I have decided to finally start making some YouTube videos. I've wanted to do this for a while, I just haven't done it. It's not been a top priority, but I'm kind of feeling that pull, and right now it's kind of a time that I feel that I can inspire some people, that I have something to say, and so it's worth it for me. I just kind of want to share my story right now. So a little bit about me. I'm 21 years old, and I'm doing a lot of great things in my life. First off, I'm a photographer, and I take some pretty dope photos. I shoot with Nikon. Right now, I am staring dead in the face a Nikon Z5. It's a little bit intimidating for sure, but it's a great camera. Love it. I'm a car enthusiast. That is another thing about me. I've started a car club in my city, and I also like to go to as many events as I can. It's a little bit much sometimes, but super fun. I'm a huge Tesla nerd. Like, oh my gosh, I love Teslas. Those are so fun. I've driven a number of them, and it's my dream car for sure. And I also really appreciate supercars and hypercars. They are just incredible machines, and I hope to own one day. I'm definitely going to own a Tesla, so putting that out there. You'll get a video about that when I do own one. And then the last thing that I want to say, and this is going to be the focus of the video, this is going to be what we're going to talk about. I am a real estate investor. Now, if we go back to a couple of things to what I had said earlier, I'm 21 years old. I am but a child. Like, I kind of have no business buying houses and investing in real estate, but here I am. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And maybe inspire some people to follow their dreams, do what they want to do, to help you guys do the best that you can in your life. Not everybody's going to be a real estate investor, obviously. That's my path. But I kind of want to tell you guys my story and how I'm buying houses at 21. Most people just don't do that. And so I kind of want to help other people in that journey. So my story starts a couple of years back. The first time that I really remember wanting to invest in real estate, I was 19, and I know that I had kind of wanted to before, but it wasn't really a thing that I had really put thought into. But I was 19 and I was like, you know what am I going to do with my life? And I thought that real estate was where I needed to be. And so I was kind of planning, maybe by the time I was 40, I'd be able to buy my first investment property, but I still had to do other things before then. And so I just kind of was going along, and I was just starting to look into things a little bit on YouTube, a couple other places, finding things. And it wasn't much. It was like, oh, if you have $1 million, you should buy an apartment building. If you have this, that. And I was 19. I had 34 cents in my bank account. Maybe an exaggeration, but at times that was very true. I was broke. Very broke. And living paycheck to paycheck, really not actually investing in my future. And so that's the thing that really was kind of a huge struggle for me, is that I couldn't really do much as a 19-year-old. At least that I thought. And then some stuff changed for me. So I have a family member who, she's awesome. She is super business oriented and was doing a whole bunch of entrepreneurial things at the time. And she went to a business conference and she met somebody who has changed my life completely. Her name is Jen Conkey. And then at a later business conference, this family member also met Stacy Conkey, her wife. And so Jen and Stacy Conkey are amazing. Let me tell y'all, like, if you ever meet them, your life is going to be changed. It's just how it is. I don't make the rules. That's just the rule. Your life will be changed by them. If that's your path, obviously. But they're super awesome. At the time, they were starting a Facebook group for multifamily investing. But it's not all local stuff. They lived down, or at the time, they lived down in Southern California, and they were buying real estate everywhere, which seemed really weird to me. I've lived in Utah my whole life, and so I was thinking I'll buy, maybe a duplex. I'll try and house hack it, maybe. I'd learned that phrase just, at that time. I was like, ooh, house hacking, that sounds fun. And so I was like, okay, that's what we'll do. I'll try house hacking. And then I found out about Jen and Stacy and their stuff. And so I was like, okay, we'll see what this is about. I was really hesitant, but I was open to learning more. And so I joined their Facebook group, saw some posts, they did some live videos. I mean, it was kind of cool stuff, but it didn't really appeal to me. I knew that they had some good information, but I didn't really understand most of it. It was so high level that me, a novice, not even knowing anything besides a traditional mortgage, would even know what to do with. And so I stayed in the group, and I would occasionally see stuff on Facebook, and I joined the group in early 2020, and that was right as the pandemic was hitting, and so I had plenty of time on Facebook, more than I'd like to admit. But I would see their posts occasionally, and I'd be like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Maybe someday. Maybe. Who knows? And then in October of 2020, they posted just like a little attention grabber, like, hey, if you want to like grow your portfolio or learn how to do this. I don't even know what the post was, but it was one of those that, they're trying to get a response out of people. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll put a response there. Yeah, I'd love to start investing. And then somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to have a Zoom meeting? Let's have a Zoom meeting. And so I hopped on there, totally expecting a sales pitch. It was definitely a sales pitch. But that's okay. It's okay that it was a sales pitch. Because I needed a sales pitch. I needed to be sold on why it was actually worth it to join this group. So they sold me. I ended up joining the mastermind class. Very much worth it, in my opinion. But as I transitioned from this novice, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to house hack. Maybe I'm going to buy a townhome and split the mortgage with some buddies, have them rent out some rooms and try and build equity that way. Maybe. Not a super great deal. And so we went back to I totally went back to the drawing board, started from scratch when I joined this mastermind. And there was a couple of things that happened. I learned a whole bunch from a whole bunch of different videos that they had posted that were private to this group. And I started to learn. And I was like, okay, we've got something good here. There is some information. And so I started learning. I started going to meetings. In these meetings, I was learning from other people who were actually in deals. And I was like, wow, these people are buying houses. And not just like one or two. It was a lot of houses. And apartment buildings. Like, I mean, I knew people could buy apartment buildings, but people were buying apartment buildings. Like, really big ones. And that kind of changed a little bit in my head. I was like, okay, there's something more to this. And so I started learning more and more. And I finally figured out what I was going to do. I want to take a moment here and say, anything I say is my journey. This is not investment advice at all. You do what you want to with your investments. Please don't sue me. So I started in Indianapolis, and I was going to wholesale to try and build up a little bit of capital. Wholesaling isn't necessarily the best long-term strategy, but it's a good little short-term thing that I wanted to do. So I started doing that. I had some pretty decent experiences, a pretty bad experience that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and I ended up getting out of the market for a little bit. And I was trying to figure out what to do next. That was my one spot that I was really in. So I started looking at other markets and kind of slowed down for a little bit. And that's fine. You don't have to be, grinding all the time for success. Because sometimes you're going to try 1,000 different things and 1,000 different markets and 1,000 different properties. And all of them are going to fail. It's bound to happen. You're not going to be 100% successful on every single trial. But when the one comes around, you're going to take it. And so I finally picked up some traction, was going again, did some other stuff in some different markets, And right now, I'm about to close on a property. As of filming, it is Monday. We're going to sign papers on Saturday, and then we will have our contractors in there on Monday. So we are the last few hours, the last few days here of this property. And this property I could do a whole video on. But I just wanted to kind of share like where I'm at right now. I'm buying a house in Montana. I totally forgot the name of the state for a second. But I'm buying a house in Montana. Super great little property. It's gonna cash flow really well. I'm gonna get a good chunk of change out of it. This property is a flip, so I'm not gonna hold on to it long term. Just buying low, doing some renovations, selling high. It's a nice place. If anybody wants a house in Montana, let me know. Okay, so one of the things that I gotta say that I love about this group, and one of the things that's kind of happened for me, is that I'm not in this alone. I have other people working with me, and so this property that I'm closing on, I'm actually going 50-50 with a joint venture partner. And so she was the one who actually found the property, and then I just kind of am helping with a couple of different things. And so we're going in 50-50 on it. It's going to be a great deal, and it's really interesting because I live in Utah. The property is 600 miles away from me in Montana, and this partner, she lives in Pennsylvania, very far away from the actual property. And so one of the great things is it doesn't matter where you live. As long as the numbers work, you've got it. And so one of the questions that I get asked really often is, are you going to actually ever see the property? And well, the answer is no. I've seen some pictures of it. Here, I'll show you guys a picture right now. Just right here. It's a pretty little property. I might be lying through my teeth when I say it's pretty right now, because it's not. So it may be a pretty ugly property, but the cool thing is I don't ever have to look at it. Isn't that great? And that might sound a little bit funky that I'm buying a house and I will never see that house. And that's actually one of my most commonly asked questions is, oh, you're buying a house in Montana. Are you moving up there? Are you going to go overseas? Are you going to do weekend trips up there? No, that would eat into my profits so fast if I had to fly up to Montana every single weekend until the project was done. I would have no money left, like literally no money left. I would completely eat through any profits. And so that's why I've got to trust the contractors I have, and that's one of the things that I was taught is, trust the team that I build out there and just use them. That's it. So I want to talk about one other thing. A lot of people ask me, how are you affording this? Because I'm 21. I haven't had a lot of time to build up savings. A lot of 21-year-olds don't have enough savings to buy a house. So, it kind of makes sense that's a question that I get asked. And so I don't want to go too much into detail, but there's a couple of different factors. So main factor is that where I live, houses are really expensive. I still, I rent a room. I don't own a house on my own because it financially isn't worth it for me to just buy my own house. But I rent a room. It's a great little setup, but the area is like $500,000 houses, and that's normal for this greater area, is really expensive houses. And so when I tell people, oh, I'm investing in real estate, they think, oh, he's buying these $500,000 plus properties. No. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I'm buying properties that are a little bit cheaper so then I can afford them. Even though, I'm getting hard money loans and doing a whole bunch of other things, so I'm not paying the whole price of the property because that's a lot to take in. But if I do this in such a way that I'm not really putting a lot of money up, then I can take some money out and, at the end and kind of build it up. So then I do have enough money that at some point I can buy a $20 million apartment building. That's just a thing I can do. And so it's kind of starting in the smaller ballpark and then moving up to the big leagues. And that's kind of the play is I'm using, loans and kind of working that out. I'm buying smaller properties. I'm not going right into these massive and really expensive properties. I'm kind of starting on the smaller end so that then I can build my way up, and that's how you can start really easily when you're young. And that's what I did. obviously, you have your own path that you can do. And I'm just here to inspire you. That's all I'm here for. I just want to inspire you guys. That's why I'm telling you my story. My story is just at its beginning. We're just at the beginning of the book, the introduction. I'm still but a wee lad. There's so much that I have in my future, in my life, that is going to happen. But I want to start documenting now, at the beginning. And right now, closing this property in Montana is kind of where I'm going to start the first page. This is where we're going to open up the book and say, this right here is where the story is beginning. And I want to help inspire you guys. No matter what you're doing, whether you're in tech or in acting or in whatever it is that you do, I want to inspire you through my story. I want to help you guys do whatever it is that you do. Whatever your talent is, you work on it. You make it happen. Because I know too many people who they are really good at something, but they do something totally different for their job. And I understand people need a job. That's a totally different discussion. We're not going into that today. But they're working at Walmart even though they're a really good actor. Like, that doesn't really apply. That's kind of missing the point here. You know, you gotta get to your level. And so I want to help people out. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do real estate, but that's because I put my mind to it, and I want to show people that it's possible to do what you love and just do it. Don't worry about anything else and just do it. Find what you love. Don't chase the money. Don't worry about those other things. Worry about what makes you happy and how to get to the life that you want. Focus on that end point. Manifest it, put it out into the universe and say, I will get to this point. Whatever that point is. For me right now, it's buying a Tesla. I'm not going to lie. When I said I love Teslas earlier, I meant it. That is my goal. I have my vision board up there and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Teslas on there. That's my goal. I want you guys to reach your goal, whatever that is. I want you to get there. And I hope to inspire you through my videos. Moving forward, I don't know what my videos are going to look like. I hope to do maybe some vlog ones, maybe some car videos, maybe some travel stuff if that's what you're into, maybe some photography, hopefully some more real estate because this has been fun. We having a good little chat here. Drop a comment down below if you want to hear more about that or whatever type of videos you want to see from me. I'm a pretty interesting guy, I think. So let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your support. Have a wonderful rest of your day.